Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my YouTube. This is my second time to record this as I recorded the whole thing, trying to be super on point and like have a nice flow. I didn't hit record, did I? So here we go again. I am bringing you episode 3 with, do you say episode 3 for YouTube? Man, I'm so old. I feel so old when it comes to YouTube, but I am out here trying. So bear with me if that's not lingo that you use here on YouTube. But anyway, I am doing a food Q&A that I did with my clients in a group call recently. They gave me 7 great questions that I kind of want to run through. I have got some notes on my laptop here beside me just so that I don't waffle and ramble on. But I genuinely thought they were really good questions, and I thought, what better place to bring you for a food Q&A than my kitchen? I'm also going to clean out my fridge because we spilled food in it yesterday evening, and I fly home tomorrow, so I want to get that completely cleared out and at least wiped down on the 2 shelves that we spilled some food. Question number 1, how much fruit is too much fruit? Now, when this client asked this, it was more of a fat loss kind of question, in the sense of, I think she was kind of like, is the sugar in fruit bad if I'm trying to lose body fat? Now, this lady is on my 6-week program, has progressed into my 6-month program. So for her, it's very much so about kind of like setting those boundaries that I find women overthink the small things. So for example, when it comes to fruit, are you having 2 or 3 portions a day, right? Genuinely, the answer to that to a lot of women is no, that they're not. So if your answer is no to that, then let's get that into 2 or 3 portions per day. Are you volume eating with veggies, right? I genuinely find that a lot of people are not eating enough fruit and are not eating enough veg. So by curiously questioning fruit out of everything that you're eating in the day, is that the issue? So what I say to the girls is, yes, there's sugar in fruit. It's natural, right? It's natural sugar. We also find fiber, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. We have water in fruit. So at the end of the day, if you're trying to lose body fat, the issue isn't really going to be the fruit. It's going to be everything else that you might not be having. So for example, did you have 3 nutritious meals in the day? Are you drinking your water? Are you in a calorie deficit? So are you like in a hitting your calorie target throughout the whole day? If so, focus on your 2 or 3 portions per day and move on. So the second question that I got was, and again, that's just personal opinion. Like, I don't look at the sugar in my food. I know that I'm eating 3 nutritious meals a day. I have my bar of chocolate at night. Done. Right? So again, are you eating balanced? Are you eating nutritious? Can you literally look back on your day and be like, I'm proud of how I've eaten today? That's how I assess my days. Okay. So question number 2 is, why is it so hard to eat enough protein? Women find it really hard to hit their protein target. And I think the reason for that is because we're not putting a protein source in every single meal. When I wake up in the morning, like for example, when I go to Ireland, I look at my protein sources for each meal. So I don't usually have the access, like I don't have access to gluten-free chicken sausages in Ireland. Ireland need to book up there, like big time. But I also don't have last time didn't have my protein powder. So protein oats and protein pancakes were out. I did buy some in the end. But again, it's like, are you picking the first item of each meal to be your protein source? So for example, breakfast, my protein oats couldn't be had, right? So what am I having? Let's look at a protein source, right? Turkey rashers and eggs on a slice of toast. Fantastic. I'm getting my fats, I'm getting my carbs, I'm getting my protein. Okay. So that's generally how I do it. I kind of look at my protein staple for each meal and then build around that. I also use MyFitnessPal to help me with my numbers. I manipulate the numbers. I track around, like play around with how I'm manipulating my meals. And then that dictates what I'm having that day. I like to track the night before, pop it in, play around with the numbers. And then when I'm cooking the next day, I know what to do. Okay. But it is something that a lot of women struggle with. And some kind of like simple protein go-tos that I've given is like meats, your chicken, your lean meats, your lean mince. I've got like turkey, pork rashers are quite good as well. Eggs, tofu, beans, my protein mug cake. It's not my protein mug cake. I cannot take credit for this. It is my partner's. And if you want the recipe, hit me in the comments below and I will send you the protein mug cake recipe, because the girls rave about them on my program. So yeah, if you're using MyFitnessPal, use it to audit your day. Have a look at your protein numbers. What's your protein for meal 1? What's your protein for meal 2? What's your protein for meal 3? Do you need to assess and adjust throughout the day? Because look, ladies, like, your body doesn't want to have 90 grams of protein to 100 grams of protein in one meal. It doesn't want that. It's the most difficult macro to break down. So you want to try and have, like, you'll see all over social media, it's like 30 grams per meal. 30 grams per meal is fantastic. Sometimes that's not possible, right? So like, if you could have like 40 grams in your breakfast, 20 grams for lunch, like, you can balance it out whatever way works for you, but you need to manipulate your food and test and trial things. And a really good way to do that is using like MyFitnessPal to audit your day and kind of assess where you're kind of lacking or over consuming on some meals. Okay. There are some light go-to protein snack options. So for me, this is where a lot of people can tend to lose momentum, because if you're kind of lacking in protein throughout the day, but you're snacking and your snacks tend to be high carb, then you're going to find it even harder to hit your protein target, because you're going to be so full off the carbohydrates that you've just eaten. So number 1 is my protein mug cake that I have just mentioned. So make sure to get in touch if you want protein mug cake. I don't even know how I sound saying that, but it's like a protein cake in a mug that you throw into the microwave. Anyway, if you want the recipe, hit me in the comments below and I will get it sent over to you. Another thing is, like, I'm Irish. Egg in a cup. We love egg in a cup with a pinch of salt. Chef's kiss. Like, super simple, super easy, filling, tasty. I don't know what else you're looking for, right? So simple go-to. Another one would be the protein kind of, I want to say mousses or yogurts in Aldi and Lidl, with the protein to calorie ratio being 10 to 1. Sorry, I should have that swapped around. The calorie to protein ratio, 10 to 1. If something has 200 calories, you're looking for 20 grams of protein. And that's a good way to kind of assess, is this a good source of protein? Because there's so many protein bars out there. And we'll say, for example, the protein bar has 400 calories, but 6 grams of protein. Lads, no, it should have 40 grams of protein. If it has 40 grams of protein, fantastic, go for it. In relation to calories versus protein, that's what you're looking for, 10 to 1 ratio, and then go from there. Really good sources in Aldi and Lidl. And a lot of the girls, again, like, that are teachers after school, tend to kind of have them in their bag as like a quick go-to if they're on break duty, or they get 5 minutes before they leave the school in the evening to kind of break up that second break to dinner kind of time, and generally find it really helpful. So the last one that I used to use a lot when I was teaching is the omelette kind of muffins. So if you put them into the cupcake silicone cases, literally mix it up. I used to put spinach, mushroom, cheese, ham into like just make a jug of an omelette and essentially pour it into each case, pop it into the oven for like X amount of minutes. I'm not even going to say how long, because I've no idea. It's been that long since I've made them. But then you kind of come out and you've got like that super egg, nutritious, of course it's egg. Really, Marina. But anyway, yeah, you're going to have like a super simple, easy go-to protein source as a snack. Okay. So question number 4 is, what are my 10 go-to foods that I always have in my trolley? I laughed at this because nobody wants to see my trolley, because I eat the same thing all day, every week, every month for the last 5 years. Generally on a Saturday, I might have a steak instead of chicken. So again, not much variety, but I hit my macros, I get what my body needs, and I go from there. But essentially you are talking chicken breast, you're talking lean mince, pork rashers, chicken sausages, long grain rice, oats, cucumber, broccoli, peas, fruit like bananas, berries, blueberries, dairy-free yogurt, 0-calorie maple syrup, which is the Skinny Co company. I'm going to put a picture of it here. Skinny Co company that are now in Super Value in Ireland, and I find it in Tesco in the UK. And I also use the Skinny Whip bars, which are literally my go-to on a fat loss phase. Like, if I want a bar of chocolate in the evening, Instead of having my normal bar of chocolate that's 200 calories, I have one Skinny Whip bar with a cup of decaf coffee and it's like 80 calories. I want to say 80 calories. I have one here in my fridge. Less than 80 calories. So yeah, definitely a good source to have. But ladies, you don't need 100 recipes. You don't need to be super inventive and super creative with your food. I think we overestimate that repeatable structure and or underestimate having that repeatable structure and how that can work for your lifestyle. So, question 5 is, are bananas bad for fat loss? Great question, but no, full stop. Like, super simple. No. Okay. I know certain clubs out there do say that like having mashed banana one way, having like a full banana is a different thing, and having a mashed banana is another thing. Ladies, just eat the banana and track it. Track it. Does it fit in your calorie target for the day? Fantastic. If it doesn't, fantastic. Like, can you eat something else? But again, it's not going to be the ultimate cause of weight gain or fat gain. It's going to be an accumulation of you being over calories or in a calorie surplus. And again, the only way to know that accurately or semi-accurately, because no app is accurate, is by tracking your calories and understanding your energy in. So I have had a lot of clients that say that to me, but they're full of fiber and full of potassium. Again, does that outweigh the rumors and the toxic diet culture norms that we've heard in the past? To me, yes, I have a minimum of one banana a day. I have it every single morning with my oats. I love it. So yeah, let's track them if you're eating them regularly, and let's not demonize them. Let's take away that stigma completely. Okay, so question number 6, we're nearly there, is, does it really matter if I eat breakfast or if I eat dinner late? So let's look at the two barrels of that question. Breakfast, yes. It's a habit of somebody who loses body fat really effectively. They actually start to eat breakfast. And the reason for this is, I always say to my clients, is that your body actually recognizes that energy source early in the morning. So it kind of gives your body that boost of fuel and allows your body to burn the energy source that it needs to for fat loss, as opposed to kind of like storing it and kind of not knowing if you're going to feed it or not feed it, right? So I also kind of say that it's total calories across the day, but how consistent your eating pattern is matters. So like, if you're not eating breakfast, but then you're eating at 12 o'clock and you're having like a bowl of soup at 12 o'clock. So it's not exactly energy full with carbohydrates. Yes, okay, it might have an element of protein, but again, it's just volume eating. You're going to be starving an hour later. Come 5 o'clock, you're scouring all the cupboards, you're pulling out all the chocolate bars, you're eating the kids' dinner as you're preparing the kids' dinner before you even get to cooking your dinner. Maybe have a look at how consistent your meal pattern is. Fixing that and implementing a breakfast, implementing a proper lunch, and implementing a snack between lunch and dinner could potentially completely diminish your cravings, diminish bloating, and actually make you feel better and actually feel better, hungry and ready for your dinner. But that being said, if you're skipping breakfast and crashing mid-morning, or always starving come 4 p.m., it's worth looking at your routine, essentially. Okay. But building something that builds around your lifestyle and not a monotonous diet is the key to that structure. Now, number 7, I can't eat in the morning. Is that really a problem? So this links really well with question 6. And I said on the call, I challenged that. And here's why. I said, when we say I can't, we shut down the possibility of change. So I like to reframe that and say, I'm going to try, right? If after you try, it's still not a go, then why is it not a go? Is it that you don't like it? You don't like eating in the morning? Well, then say that. Say that you, instead of saying that you can't eat breakfast, just say, I don't like eating breakfast. But have something small that can kickfire your energy source, essentially, and what your body is looking for at that time. And like, the minute I say to ladies, like, have protein pancakes in the morning, they're like, you want me to have pancakes every morning? I was like, protein pancakes every single morning is better than nothing. Okay. So again, it's not just about choosing foods that work. It's about choosing food that you enjoy, that you're happy to have, especially if it's at a time of the day that you don't particularly enjoy eating, like breakfast. And I do get this from lots of clients, but again, it could be something as simple as a protein yogurt, a banana, and a few nuts. It could be a slice of toast with peanut butter. And it's about kind of training your body to accept fuel at that stage. Like I've had clients in the past that have implemented this, and once they have implemented it, they're hungrier come 12 o'clock than what they were prior. And asking me, like, why is my body hungrier now than what it was before? Like, I was eating less. And it's like, yeah, because your body's actually recognizing energy now. Okay. Which is also really important. But yeah, if anybody has any questions regarding food or regarding nutrition, do get in touch. And I hope that you found this food Q&A helpful, and watch out for a future series coming on my YouTube. And it's going to have tips and actionable kind of things that you can put in place in your lifestyle based around habits, behaviors, mindset, and your relationship with food. So yeah, see you all next week.